to share from Exodus. I'm going to read chapter 2, verses 1 through 10. Or, sorry. Yeah. Now, a man from the house of Levi went and married a daughter of Levi. The woman conceived and bore a son, and when she saw that he was beautiful, she hid him for 3 months. But when she could hide him no longer, she got him a wicker basket and covered it over with tar pitch. Then she put the child into it and set it among the reeds by the bank of the Nile. His sister stood at a distance to find out what would happen to him. The daughter of Pharaoh came down to bathe at the Nile with her maidens walking alongside the Nile, and she saw the basket among the reeds and sent her maid, and she brought it to her. When she opened it, she saw the child, and behold, the boy was crying. And she had pity on him and said, "This is one of the Hebrews' children." Then his sister said to Pharaoh's daughter, "Shall I go and call a nurse for you from the Hebrew women that she may nurse that child for you?" Pharaoh's daughter said to her, "Go ahead." So the girl went and called the child's mother. Then Pharaoh's daughter said to her, "Take this child away and nurse him for me, and I will give you your wages." So the woman took the child and nursed him. The child grew, and she brought him to Pharaoh's daughter, and he became her son. She named him Moses and said, "Because I drew him out of the water." So I kind of want to focus on the sister. So, well, Pharaoh had decreed that all male Hebrew boys, babies, be cast into the Nile to drown, to kill them, because the Israelites were multiplying like crazy, and Pharaoh feared that soon they'd be big enough to overthrow him and his armies. um, Moses' mother, had him, and at one point was not able to hide him anymore. It was he just woke up. So she hid him in in the Nile by putting him in a wicker basket. Now the sister was curious, wanted to know what was going to happen to her baby brother. At this point, remember we don't have a name for the child. He's just an infant boy. Well, Pharaoh's daughter comes along. She's gonna bathe in the Nile. Her her maidens or servants are with her, and Pharaoh's daughter sees the basket and has the maidens one of the maidens bring it to him. When Pharaoh's daughter saw that it was a child, um, she had pity on the child, but more importantly, the sister, his older sister, sprung into action right then and there without hesitation. She come out from hiding and told and asked the Pharaoh's daughter if she should go get a nurse for the infant for her so that he may be able to eat. Um, and of course, Pharaoh's daughter said yes. The sister went to her mother, brought brought her to Pharaoh's daughter, and thereby reuniting her baby brother with the family for a short time. Once once Moses was weaned from his mother, then his mom took him to Pharaoh's house, palace, where he at that time became Pharaoh's daughter, and she named him Moses because she drew him out of the water. But sometimes, I guess the what I was getting out of this story was the sister, because she stood by and she watched. she was curious as to what was going to happen to her big brother. So she hid and she watched and waited for the opportunity, if it was to present itself, to help her brother. And it did. She didn't hesitate. She sprung right into action and offered to go find a nurse for her baby brother. Of course, um, Pharaoh's daughter had no idea who this little girl was. You know, she just knows that this girl was offering to get her some help so she can keep this, so this baby can live. Um, Sometimes just watching situations can open doors that allow us to leap into action for God. Um, Whether it be for a family member or for someone else or for a complete stranger. Um, Moses' big sister helped saved his life. He was lost among the reeds, and to me, I like to see a correlation between that situation and us when it comes to sin. We get lost in the reeds. We get lost in sin. Um, but God sees how lost we are, and so He eventually sent Christ to die for our sins, thereby giving us life again, giving us a chance. You know, Moses' sister, big sister, did the same thing. She watched, and when the time was right, she took action. And that's what God did for us when He sent Jesus Christ. He watched, and then when it was His perfect time, He sent Christ, who showed us how we can live for God. And He showed us His love by dying for us so that we could have life after with God. He was sent to nurse us back to health spiritually. So, with that, I love you guys. You have a blessed day, and we'll see you tomorrow.